Have you ever stood on the edge of a skate park and felt like you were watching a world within a world? Boards hitting concrete, people shouting encouragement, the rush of wheels cutting across the park. Welcome to Beyond the Tricks, where I explored a subculture and community you might see every day, but never fully understood. Today, we're diving into the world of skateboarding. For many outsiders like myself, skateboarders are often labeled as rebellious, chaotic, or just a bunch of people trying to land tricks in a loud park. But after conducting my own research, an interview with a skater, and a field observation at a local skate park, I learned that this community is built on far more than just what people assume. In today's episode, we'll explore 4 major themes that define the skateboarding community: origins and personal connections, community and belonging, unwritten rules, codes, and the skate lifestyle, and how outsiders perceive this culture. Let's start with how people get into skateboarding in the first place. During my interview with the skater, they told me,
I started skating in 1995.
Okay.
And through my dad, really.
Okay.
We kind of just did everything.
This idea came up again during my observation. I saw younger kids learning from the older ones, and even a father trying to teach his daughter. These moments show that skateboarding doesn't usually begin as a hobby someone picks up randomly. It often starts as a personal connection, something linked to family, friendship, or childhood memories. That foundation shapes how skaters view the activity and why it becomes such a meaningful part of their lives. Moving on to our second theme, belonging. If you've ever stepped foot in a skate park, you might picture a competitive or intimidating environment. But what I witnessed was completely opposite. Skaters hyped each other up with tough attempts, gave each other space during runs, and shared tips with beginners. The vibe wasn't a "don't bother us," it was "hey, you're part of this too." My interviewee described the skate park as
one big family that laughs and jokes around, calls you names, but also is there for you when you're like getting your butt beat by a trick for hours and hours and hours. They're the ones who are going to be there for you, rooting for you.
During my observation, I was able to see this sense of belonging everywhere, from beginners working up the courage to drop in, and advanced skaters cheering them on. Community is built through shared spaces, shared goals, and shared struggles. Every fall and every success becomes a collective experience. Skateboarding might look individual, but the culture around it is deeply social. Our third theme is one I didn't fully understand until I watched it in action and heard it from the skater themselves: the unspoken rules of the park. Even though skating looks unorganized, the community follows a set of unwritten rules. Things like look before dropping in, respect people learning new tricks, and a new one I just learned called snaking.
It's just like get in their way. They're trying to trick.
It's structured but not rigid. My interviewee put it simply:
So be vigilant when you're in the skate park because everyone's trying to do something, not just you.
Then there's the lifestyle, the clothing, which was the first thing I noticed in my observation. All had similar style, but still very different. The slang and the humor, the creativity in how people customize their boards, and the mindset of trying, failing, and trying again. It's a culture that values authenticity, resilience, and expression, far from being aimless or rebellious. Skateboarding has its own rich identity and structure. Of course, the way skaters see themselves isn't always how outsiders view them. While observing the skate park, I noticed some people watching from the sidelines, some smiling, others looking nervous or unsure. A few people walked by shaking their heads, maybe judging the noise or the tricks gone wrong. My interviewee talked about this too.
People probably call skaters like lazy bums. That's one I hear a lot, which is just not true. I will stand by it that this is one of the hardest sports in the world.
Reality is much different. Skateboarding is creative, disciplined, and highly social. but from the outside, it's easy to misinterpret the falling, the noise, the repetitive attempts, and the casual style. That contrast between how skaters define themselves and how outsiders see them became one of the most important insights of my research. I'll admit that before this project, I expected the skate park to feel intimidating. I thought the skaters might be exclusive or hard to approach, and I had always viewed them as troublemakers. But that bias faded quickly. What I found was a welcoming and structured environment filled with mutual respect. My biggest challenge was simply stepping into the space as an outsider, and once I did, the community's culture became clear. So, what does this research tell us?
Skateboarding is super diverse.
They're the ones who are going to be there for you, rooting for you.
Skateboarding's a lot of failing. You learn to be okay with it. You do learn to just be resilient.
It's just one big family.
Skateboarding isn't just a sport. It's a culture built on personal origins, community bonds, shared codes, and a lifestyle that values authenticity and creativity. And while outsiders may misunderstand it, the people within the skateboarding world define it through connection, resilience, and belonging. As I left the skate park, it was clear. This community is more complex, more supportive, and more organized than most people realize. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Tricks. Hope you enjoyed this episode.